Commission. We would like to call this Brunswick City Commission regular scheduled commission meeting for Wednesday, September 17th, 2025 to order. If we could all please stand for the invocation and our pledge of allegiance.
If you would bow your heads, please. Father God, we thank you now. We thank you most of all, God, for this opportunity to come together. We thank you for these, your people that are gathered here together on one accord. We pray now, God, that you will bless the decision-making that shall come forth out of this meeting, God. We ask that you would grant us the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we may discern and understand the decisions that will be made here on tonight, and that they will be for the governing of the entirety. We thank you now, God, that you have blessed us with this opportunity and blessed us with these people to be able to be here to support us in the city of Brunswick. We thank you now for what shall transpire in this meeting. And we ask now, God, that you will speak through us as we speak to your people. In the matchless name of Jesus Christ, we pray and we say, amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
We will now move on to the approval of the agenda and the adoption of the September 17th, 2025 regular scheduled meeting agenda. Are there any addendums or subtractions?
Mr. Mayor, I have one addendum to the agenda this evening.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to add as item number 5A under consider approval, section, consider approval of a quote to replace the Brunswick Police Department Detective Division Building HVAC.
Hearing a first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second, all those in favor show by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. The item is added to the agenda. Any other addendums or subtractions? Hearing none.
Mr. Mayor, I actually do have a request. Could we defer item number 6? It is the docking agreement. I've had a last minute request from American Cruise Lines. We are working through it diligently. I would just ask it be deferred to the next commission meeting. October 2nd, I believe.
Okay, coming from our city attorney.
October 1st.
Coming from our city attorney, can we please have a motion?
Motion to defer item number 6 to meeting specific October the 1st.
Hearing the first, do I hear a second? Hearing the first and a second, all those in favor show by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes and the item is removed. Any other addendums or subtractions? Hearing none, we will open it up for a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adopt the September 17, 2025 regular scheduled meeting agenda.
Hearing the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing the first and a second, all those in favor show by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes and the agenda as amended is adopted. With that, we will move on to public hearing for new alcohol beverage licenses. Deputy Brown.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I have 2 of the alcohol license. They will be new. They were deferred from our first meeting in August. First is Snappy Food Mart, owner Mr. Patel at 2905 Glen Avenue for retail sales of beer and wine. He is here.
I'm sorry, Deputy Marshall, you said that's for renewal?
This is a change of ownership. So like a new application,
Okay.
change of ownership for a Snappy Food Mart at 2905.
Is the ownership completed?
No, it is not. So
So
this is provisional, sorry.
Okay, can you explain to me when a person gets a provisional, what does it mean?
Provisional license is a pending sale. At this case, it's a pending sale of the business. So he is looking forward to getting an alcohol license to be able to continue selling alcohol at this establishment.
During the time period of provisional? The provisional is 90 days.
Correct. After approval, if, say for instance, they are approved tonight, They have 90 days to get their certificate of occupancy, and then I'm able to hand over their alcohol license if approved tonight. And their sale will go through.
Okay.
Good evening.
Mr. Patel, good evening. Thank you for being with us. If you could just tell us a little bit about your business and what you plan on doing at the Snappy Food Mark at 2905 Glen Avenue. Thank you for being with us this evening.
It's about this small convenience store, and I was moved to the here for March. So interesting on store. So yeah, yeah, interested on store. So
Wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit about what you'd be selling in the store? Tell us a little bit about your hours, how long you'd be open, if there will be any changes, either structurally to the store that you're taking over, or will there be any
no, it's
changes?
nothing changing. Same thing. Everything I keep it.
Or will there be any changes to anything kind of outside? Would you be adding lighting? Would anything to that? So this is where you kind of give a rundown of your business, how long you're going to stay open, all of those kinds of things.
We are 24 hours open, so we nothing changed. Stay same thing. Everything.
So be open 24 hours, and
Yeah.
would you be selling alcohol 24 hours?
No.
Okay.
No.
How,
Like-
what's your hours of sales?
It's 12 a.m. to 12 p.m.
12 a.m. to 12 p.m.
Yes. No, it's 24 hours till midnight.
Okay.
24 hours store.
Got it. And then you're selling alcohol all the way till midnight?
No. I'm selling like 7 a.m. to 11:45 p.m. Monday to Saturday. And Sunday we are selling like 12:30 p.m. to 10:45 p.m.
Okay. Okay. So Monday through Saturday, you got it, I guess, 7 to 11:45.
Yes.
Okay. And then Sunday is 10,
12:30 p.m. to 10:45 p.m.
12 to 10:45. Okay. What else are you selling in the store?
Like groceries, soda, beverages,
Okay. And when you say groceries, tell me what you mean by
like the chips, candy, soda.
Okay. Appreciate that. Any other, I don't want to hog it. Thank you so much, Mr. Patel. We'll open it up. Do you have anything else before questions from the commission?
No.
Okay. Questions or comments from the commission?
Just really quick. So, Mr. Patel, when you mentioned that you sold groceries, so the answer, because I go in the store, so I know, so they might not. So when you mentioned candy and chips, groceries would be, for example, like you do sell cheese and you do sell butter and you do sell
Yep. Like
cream
frozen
cheese.
burger.
So when we say groceries, that's kind of what we mean, because chips is
Gotcha.
snacks. And then we know that you're open 24 hours, but then the time that you sell the beer and wine, I think Mayor wrote it down. So you said on Sundays, would you start at 12:30?
12:45 p.m. to 10:45 p.m.
Okay, and then on the weekdays, you start at 7 a.m.?
7 a.m. to 11:45 p.m.
Okay, all right.
Any additional questions or comments?
I have a question. Mr. Patel,
Yes, ma'am.
do you currently work in the store now?
Well, I'm not working. I'm just standing and see the house business going on.
Have you owned a business prior to this?
Not on this area.
Not in,
Not in Georgia.
but you have owned another,
No, not anymore.
but you did own a convenience store like this before in another state, another town?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any more questions.
Process. You addressed the CO you addressed the provisional before the CO.
So the business is currently, they have active CO running with the previous owner. With the provisional license, he will then have to apply for another certificate of occupancy. He has 90 days to get that certificate of occupancy before I can hand over the license to him.
So why put the cart before the horse?
That's bad. So what we're trying to prevent with sales of businesses is a sale taking place and there not being a appropriate change in the alcohol license, which is something that happened regularly, where the business would sell and we'd get to renewal time and they come in and basically be applying for a new license. We're also trying to prevent major interruptions in business service because the alcohol licensing process can take 8 to 12 weeks. And that's just on our end. It takes another couple of weeks beyond that to get a license once we've approved it from the state. So the provisional license allows you to approve the applicant pending the completion of the sale and the completion of them getting their business license and their certificate of occupancy for that location. Anytime we have a tenant change, which is typically what you have with these businesses, we do a new CO for every business location in the city. So that's very consistent with what we do with all other businesses. So this keeps everybody involved legal for as long as possible, keeps us from having multiple license holders at the same location, and minimizes interruption to business.
I have a question. Now, say the sale doesn't go through.
Then we
And what do
don't
you
issue the
do?
license. We do not, that's
But-
why it is
but
provisional.
You said prevent to having multiple owners at one site.
Yes,
The owners
so
have
if the sale does not go through,
Uh-huh.
we do not issue the new license.
But they still have the provisional to be able to sell.
No, the provision is that they have been approved
Okay,
pending these conditions. The condition is you have to close on the sale, get your new business license, and get your new CO, and then you are issued your alcohol license. We try to make that kind of happen
Okay,
simultaneously
that's
so
what
that
I'm-
we're not interrupting the business.
Okay. And where is that stated?
It's actually 3-22. It states that provisional license for a new location shall not entitle the applicant to sell alcoholic beverages until such time as the necessary work has been inspected and approved and a certificate of occupancy has been issued.
So, Mr. Patel, do you understand, when you look at our ordinance and it says provisional license in that section, or when you hear the word provisional, what are your expectations when you, about when you receive that, provisional license? What are, don't look at him. Do you have a clear understanding? What are your expectations, or requirement of you during this time period?
Yes,
What is it?
well, it's based on the, like, if you approval, you guys approval, then we go forward to the business,
We go forward to the business.
like the approval for the beer license, then
So if you're not pre-approved, do you still plan on purchasing this business?
yes.
You are?
Well, I'm waiting for all approval to,
And when do you expect to close on the business?
as well as the approval is,
So really, technically, your closure could happen tomorrow. Am I correct? Based on what you're saying, or what you kind of like saying to me.
yeah, but well,
so let me kind of try to help clear up something that may be a little muddy. You all have given the provisions of the license. City attorney, you can step in anytime. You all have given the provisions of being able to proceed. I think the concern and question here is, do you fully understand your limitations?
yes,
Okay, in this process.
yes,
And so you understand that even under this provisional license, based upon the provisions specified in that license, you can't proceed. Are you all saying not to sell or to sell? That's, okay, you understand that
Yes.
you can't sell, that
Right.
there is, that you may have a provisional license saying that once you've completed these specific steps, then you'll be able to go
Yes.
forward. Okay, so there's not going to be an issuance of two licenses at one location. I know we have it in section 3.7. One revokes the other. That's what our code says. One, or our ordinance say, one revokes the other. So just making sure that whatever direction this goes in, that you fully understand that it's not going to be you that's
Yes.
going to be selling those products.
Yes,
It's going to be the current license holder that's responsible
yes,
for those products. City attorney?
That's correct.
Okay, and so were there to occur a violation of some sort, hopefully it will not, that the current license holder is going to be the responsible party. That's what we really want to understand. Who's going to be the responsible liable party? If there were to be something that occurred.
It would be the current license holder. So if a violation happens today, it would be the current license holder as responsible for that violation. The provisional, he would become responsible upon the completion of the conditions, the issuance of the license, and the termination of the previous license holder.
Okay, so including or considering those factors, where would you be? We just throwing out potentials out there. Where would you be in this process to continue with the completion of the stipulations of the provisional? How would that impact you?
yes.
Is what
I-
I'm asking.
Yes, I understand that part.
How would that impact you? Going forward with completing this process, how would that impact you? Because I asked that, I'm just throwing out potentials, not saying it's gonna happen, but were it to happen and there was an interruption in that process and you're not, this person gets deemed. So that takes away the ability to sell during this interim of this provisional. Where are you and how would that impact your moving forward with the purchasing or completing this process?
Well,
Would you finish the process? Because if it's interrupted in that time frame, you're not going to be able to sell those products.
yeah, I'm not selling the beer, nothing.
Okay. If that happens, you're not going to be able to sell those products
No.
because the person that had the ability to do it's not able to do it at this point. Would you still complete the process?
Yeah, after I will complete the process, then I will sell the beer and all that. Without that, I don't sell the beer.
Okay. I'm not sure.
I wanna try as much as I can, and I could be confused here too, so someone correct me if I'm wrong. What we are trying to do is what I've seen and what I've seen before is individuals in our community may sell a business and a person may buy that business, assuming that they were selling liquor, beer, or wine there before, that they would be buying the same business and would continue to be able to sell liquor, beer, or wine. Naturally, that has happened with the sale of the property, and then they come to us. And if that is denied, they have then bought a business for which they don't have a profit model of the same like. And so it seems what this provisional situation is trying to do is to get out ahead of that. The person who would be buying the business is now coming before us to say, can we continue to do what has, naturally been done at this footprint? Yes or no, whatever the commission thinks. And then that potential owner at least has some understanding as to whether they want to complete that sale. And if they complete that sale and we have said yes, then they are the new licensee. If we say no and they choose to not complete that sale, then the current owner who has a license can continue to sell. If we also say no, if we also happen to say no, then that person also will understand if they complete the sale, then they will have to think of a different profit model on that footprint. For us as a commission, I think we want you as a potential owner to understand
Yes.
the differences in the decisions that are before us as a commission. It would seem like you have some grasp of that, so I
Yeah.
don't want to continue to quiz you.
Right.
The one question that I do have for you is, have you ever been a owner of any business here in Brunswick?
No, sir.
You haven't been an owner before. How, if you know, and if you don't know, it's totally okay. How long has the ownership been in place that is there currently?
I
Not sure.
not sure.
What's important to me is that, you know, we call these things alcohol or whatever they are, right? Beer, wine, they're all vices, right? And vices definitely sell. I think if you open up a liquor store, you're gonna sell some liquor. If you're selling beer and wine, you're gonna sell some beer and wine.
Yes.
What's important though is that the people who own these types of establishments have a deep connection to the community, understand what it means to overserve one and not overserve another. And that understanding of a community happens through longevity of ownership. It happens through people being members of the community for a long time to even understand the fabric of that community. So it's important to me. I guess my question to you is, how long do you plan on being an owner in our community? How long do you individually plan on owning, you know, this establishment? What's your view of it?
Yeah, I'm thinking a longer term from here to stay now, so long term.
Okay, can you put a year on long term for me? Because we hear people say long term and then,
Like-
you know, 2 years later, it's a new owner.
No, it's not happen like that.
Okay,
Like
so what's your
at least
kind of
20,
thought of
25
it?
years.
Okay, all right. Okay,
So you plan to be vested.
Yes.
I'm with you.
all right. Any other questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, you could step to the side for me. We'll now open it for public comment for deputy when she gets a second. I just want to know, did we have a conversation with the MPA?
Yeah. It's
Wait.
good. Good year.
Okay.
5, it states, the question is there anyone connected with this business who has been, well, does it say it's convicted for selling alcohol to underage? So they weren't convicted, but they did sell. I remember that. That was like last year. But, I mean, they said no. But it would have been, yes, if the convicted were,
yes.
yeah, but.
Mayor Pro Tem, can you speak up?
Number 5. But it says convicted, so,
Can we get clarification then from city attorney?
because they did sell to an underage, I remember, but they weren't, this is like,
The location, you mean the prior owner? I do,
Sorry. That prior owner at that time is not the current
so
owner.
that's what that is now?
Right,
yes,
Oh, that's.
Okay.
sorry.
sorry.
Deputy, just really quick, 2 quick questions. One, so we've had 3 owners in like 2 years?
So after that underage sale that she was referring to, yes, that owner did leave. But this current owner is going on 2 years or more of being there, and now this applicant.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? With that, we will open it for a motion. Or no, sorry, we'll open it for public comment. We will leave it open for 20 seconds, like I normally do. So if you have any comments on the retail sale of beer and wine for the Snappy Food Mart at 2905 Glen Avenue. Now, now is your time to come forward, Ms. Collins.
I would like to know How long has that business been at that location, please?
I'm not sure. What I would do is I could write down the questions and we could get you an answer, because I'm not sure off the bat.
It's been there before I started working here, so I can get you a definite answer for sure.
And could you add how many owners
In that
in
time.
it, in that time frame? I appreciate that.
That should, I think, be a part of the conversation when we have situations to come up. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. Any other people open for public comment? So again, 20 seconds. Seeing no one, public comment on Snappy Food Mart is now closed. We will now open it for any additional comments or questions from the commission. Hearing none, we will open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move to deny the provisional license for Snappy Food, Raj Bar 108 Incorporated, doing business as Snappy Food Market.
Hearing a first, do I hear a second?
There would need to be some reason stated for denial.
Reason for denial? Deny because I do not understand there isn't any written documentation within our ordinance except but in section and underneath the section of 23-21 of ordinance. That's a very bland. It doesn't describe the responsibilities of an applicant when you are being considered as getting provisional license. Even though it's in section 322, there isn't any reference in section 321 that you have to adhere to things in section 322.
City Attorney, I have a question.
Yes.
Because when it comes to the new alcohol licenses and renewals, it's a lot of back and forth. I wish it could just be days when they come up and we just say yes or no. So can we work on changing our ordinances so everything could just be like in place and be correct? So we're not doing all the back and forth with asking questions up here. Because I mean, we have a motion on the floor, like none of us are not, can we defer this to the next meeting? Or, I mean, so everyone can have proper clarification?
Absolutely. I mean, you absolutely can defer it. There's a motion on the floor. I don't believe it's been seconded yet, but there is a motion, but it can be deferred. And if there are any questions, there certainly can be clarification provided.
I think with the motion on the floor, I think hold on 1 second, Commissioner. I think a part that is new to this that the commission would need clarity on is when a reason is stated, what are those reasons that would need to be stated? I don't want it to be fluff. I want it to be clear what those reasons are, should be, could be, where there is latitude and space for the commission to make those decisions. I wouldn't want Commissioner Atkinson Williams or anyone else up here to have a feeling of a motion to not deny or approve or whatever, and then have to give some kind of reasoning that they have not been briefed on prior. So with that said, I know we do have a motion.
Mr. Mayor, even if the motion dies, I do want to add that really, I understand what Director Hunter said about the lapse, the in-between, but I do not feel like the city needs to be involved in the decision-making if a person is going to purchase a business, that decision should be made upon that individual. If they want to purchase that business or not, it should not, if we say no, then they say, well, I don't want it because I can't sell alcohol. If we say yes, oh, well, because and I apologize if I pronounce your last name incorrectly, or Mr. Patel. He said, well, I said, when will the sale close or pending? He said, well, so that sounds like it could happen really tomorrow. So it just based on what we say. And I don't think we should be the determining factor on that. And we do not control people's businesses. We don't have any rights to that. I ask you about your financial statements, because as a business person, if you purchase in a business, I'm pretty sure you ask that convenience store, that owner, tell me, what did you sell? Show me your financial statements. How are you justifying this price? I'm pretty sure you told me also that you purchased or you have run convenience stores in another state or whatever, city, whatever. So you know the business model. So I don't feel like I, as a commissioner, need to be that decision factor to help you make a decision if you want to purchase a business. That's me.
Noted, noted, noted. I think we have a motion on the floor, and if it's Commissioner Atkinson Williams, you let me know your feelings. If you are okay rescinding that motion and us moving in a deferral or whatever direction the commission wants to move in, Commissioner Atkinson Williams, how you feel about that?
I'm okay rescinding the motion. Either which way it goes, we deferred. These are things
Yes,
of course, we are trying to defer, get clarity on. I've been trying to get clarity on since probably mid.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And we also, if that's the case, if we have two that are pending sale on this new application list, I think we need to go ahead and defer the other one as
Yes,
well,
ma'am.
till we get clarity.
Yes, ma'am.
Solar will be the.
Hold on. Yep, Commissioner Harris. Oh. She's just saying solar would be the other one. Picture.
So for those in the audience, because here we can see every reaction everybody makes. It's tough being up here on the dais and trying to make sure that you're making the best decision for the entirety of the entire community. Who's vested where, who's not vested where. And the decisions that we're trying to render from this dais is not just one-sided. It's for the entirety. There's a process, there's a vision, there are things that are taking place and trying to better the city of Brunswick. Not saying that this doesn't, but trying to make sure that no matter who you are, where you come from, what you're doing, that if you're going to come and have a business in the city of Brunswick, that you're going to be fully vested in what you're putting there and what you're doing there. We understand business from this platform. So we know profit margins and all of that kind of stuff. We know business plans and all of that kind of stuff. So our concern is not so much that we have to delve into your business plan or your business model per se, but if you're saying that you're going to be vested in this community, then that's our expectation. That's a part of our judgmental authority that we have, is that we've been appointed to make the best decision for the entirety and the betterment of this community. Now, there are a lot of other factors that come in, and where businesses are placed, and are they best, is it the best placement in these areas? What is it doing to these areas? And it's for us to understand from the community perspective, if there's harm being done, is it going to do more harm, or is it going to actually help that area to be bettered? And so we have to consider all of those decisions, no matter who comes before us and who feels however they feel based upon the decisions that we have to make. And so we do take the input from the community. So what I am happy to see is that you have gone to the NPA meeting and they have given their input on it. So when others don't understand that, then we also include in our decision what that specific community has given us input on. And so all of those things are considered in our determination as to how we move forward on licenses. We're not just factoring licenses. We're not just saying that licenses are automatic, because where one thing may have been good before, it may not be good anymore. And so we have to consider those factors. And so what I'm saying to you, we may be talking about deferring it so others can get more clarity on it. I'm happy to see that you have gone through that process. So that lends to me that you did go to the NPA. They did give their input and that they don't have any objections to it. So now, whatever other concerns may be, those concerns will be addressed. And that you have said here, not just before this DIOS, but everybody in here and watching online, that you are committed to proceed through with this business, regardless of what may transpire or what other hiccups may come up that you're not expecting or you hadn't planned for.
Thank you. With that, we will open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the alcohol beverage license for retail sale of beer and wine for Mr. Patel at 2905 Glen Avenue, DBA Snappy Food Mart.
Hearing the first, is there a second? Hearing no second, the motion is not seconded, so the motion dies. Is there another motion on the table?
It was my initial understanding that there was
You can-
gonna be.
You
a-
can make that motion.
I'm sorry. Okay, motion to defer. This is my reasoning for deferring, is so that the others can get a clearer understanding of what we're talking about in this process.
I would just ask, Commissioner, if I just would like to know what questions we have not got answered yet tonight, so we make sure that our staff is clear. I believe we've already deferred this once.
This has been deferred already.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was why I made my motion.
Okay.
I won't speak to the exact questions because I don't hold those in my mind for the rest of the commission. What I've always stood on is that if any commissioner needs additional time, I try and provide that time. They are in a space where there is a current business owner, they are selling alcohol or beer and wine, the business is moving per usual. So any additional questions that any commissioners may have, I think Commissioner Savy is saying, let's try and make those as transparent and clear as possible to staff so we can get those questions answered as soon as possible and be in a place to make a decision, if I'm hearing that correctly. With that, there is a motion.
We can defer it to the next meeting
Yes.
as soon
Yes.
as the next meeting, because you ought to be able to have an answer to whatever questions you have by the next meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
And at that time, we will move on a decision. Doesn't need to be deferred again.
Yes, ma'am. So we will open it for a motion because we don't have an active motion.
There's an active motion to defer.
But I thought I will leave it as singular. I thought they were asking to defer to. So I hear,
Go ahead and defer the other one that was also a pending sale provisional, which is.
yeah, that's,
I believe the only active motion for the board to consider at the moment is the deferral of this item. But
Okay.
if there is an
Okay.
amendment to that motion and a second, then you can take it up for
Yep.
consideration.
Okay, so we can get past this and move on.
Please, the 642.
I'll just withdraw mine and let the people with the further concerns specifically state how they want the motion to take place.
okay. That motion is withdrawn.
Yes.
I think what I'm hearing, you got it. A motion to defer. Oh,
Mr. Mayor, I move that we defer Snappy Food Mart's alcohol license retail for sale of beer and wine until the next meeting, which will be October the 1st. And that reason is just to get further clarification on this provisional
license.
license.
And you're making that for Snappy and Solar?
Yes, and as well as for Solar 108, 1008 Bay Street, for retail sale of beer and wine.
Hearing the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second. All those in favor, show by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes and those two items are deferred. Thank you, Mr. Patel. We will see you next meeting. And to the owner of Solar 108, I don't want to make an assumption, Mr. or Mrs. Patel, your item has also been deferred to the next meeting for questions to be answered, which would move.
I have a clarification.
Sure.
Mr. Attorney, can I just have clarification? Are we allowed to defer that solar application since we approved it on the agenda and we haven't seen the presentation? Okay, thank you.
That moves us down to the Cactus Mexican Restaurant. Mr. and Mrs. Fuentes at
Yes.
1305 Gloucester Street for on-premise consumption of beer, wine, and liquor.
Yes. They are here. Their English, it will be helped by Miss Audrey Gibbons, okay?
Good evening.
Good evening.
We're here at 1305 Gloucester Street at the Cactus Mexican Restaurant. It will be a 7-day a week establishment, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Sunday 1 to 10. It's authentic dine-in and servers and whole 9 yards. Blanca and Zafrino are the owners, and he has a business already in Glenn County. He's been here 21 years. He's Cheeto Landscaping. Blanca has 6 years at Sea Island. So they're branching out, and they have a lease with the Douglas, I forget the name, the Sea Real Estate for a 5 years contract, and everything has been approved. We've gone through the DPH and the city licensing and everything.
Thank you for that, Ms. Gibbons, and it was good to see you at the MPA meeting. I know the MPA has heard and had conversation around it, and they have no objections at the MPA, or several commissioners there as well. Any questions or comments for either Ms. Gibbons or the owners? Hearing no questions or comments, thank you for that presentation. Y'all could just step to your left, and we will open it up for public comment. I will leave it open as customary for 20 seconds.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Commissioners. My name is Odette Douglas. I'm CEO of Seed Corn Enterprise, the building owner of 1305 Gloucester Street. And I just want to emphasize our support for the Cactus Mexican Restaurant. Getting to know Blanca and Cheeto, Seferino, excuse me, over the last few weeks has been awesome. They're invested. They've put skin in the game, so to speak, in terms of turning the building over. They've been there a lot trying to get their building open. As Ms. Audrey said, Cheeto is a successful landscaping business. He's been in the community for a number of years, same with Blanca, and they're looking to open up their restaurant, authentic Mexican. It's been a dream of Blanca from what I understand, and we're very, very excited to bring that to the community. Especially in that area being somewhat of a food desert, needing food in a good restaurant, which is the vision for the building as a whole, is to really provide, a service and a good means of food and means for that area. So again, we just want to support them, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Douglas, and thank you for your service to the city on our board. Any additional comments? Still public comment is open, so any additional public comment, please? Seeing none, we will now close the public comment period. Any additional comments or questions from the commission?
Hours of operation.
Hours of operations, Ms. Audrey?
Okay.
Thank you so much. Any additional comments or questions? No, so. Here and say that one more time. Yes, ma'am. Appreciate that. Hearing no more comments and questions, we will now open it for a motion.
I move that we approve the on-premise sale of beer, wine, and liquor for the Cactus Mexican Restaurant at 1305 Gloucester Street.
Hearing the first, do I hear?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second. All those in favor show by sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Gibbons. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it. With that, we will now move on to KK Deli and Convenience Store. Mr. Ropani,
Kishore Kumar.
address is 1211 Gloucester Street, and it's retail sales of beer and wine.
Hi,
Hey, how you doing? If you
good
could just
evening.
Tell us a little bit about your business, hours of operation, what you plan on doing.
Yes, hi, good evening, Mayor, and good evening, Commissioner. My name is Kishore Kumar Rupani. I opened the last 3 weeks, the store. This store, before I opened, more than 4 years is closed. I just built up, there is a 2 premises, 1209 and 1211. And one side I built the grocery store, fully grocery, modern grocery store. And the second side, I built the latest one, the deli. I'm making that breakfast sandwich and everything. And I opened the 3 weeks and so many people's response is good. And the customer also asking about the beer also. I say that I apply already. And when the customer come in store, my intentions is clear to the provide as much as good service. When they buy the stuff here, grocery or deli, we can provide that at one place, the beer also or what here wine also. So that's the reason I apply here. And that building is the last 4 years was closed. And no one liked downtown, the building with the close, and the people are misusing. So I try to build a nice store.
We appreciate that. Thank you so much for that. Any questions or comments from the commission?
What were your hours of operation again, sir? Like when are you gonna be on?
Morning 8 to 9 p.m. And I'm the single person. So I'm sure I will be hired the 2 to 3% on my store also. So I will be hired the local person to provide them job also in the store because it's a 2 unit. So I need the help and I'm the single person. So I'll be hired the local community people there also.
Will you also be selling tobacco products and lottery?
Yes.
So I will say this, and I spoke at the MPA meeting that was at Respect for Life. So on Gloucester Street, so the store that's right across from the Mexican restaurant, they sell beer and wine. And then they're across the street, so they will sell beer and wine. Then you'll have the restaurant now that will sell beer and wine and liquor on premise. Then you have the other gas station that's across from where they have the AA meetings at now. They sell beer and wine. And then when you go over a block, it's the liquor store. Along with all of that, if you go down Gloucester Street, or if you just sit out there or ride by between the hours of, let's say, 8:30, it's already jumping. When I say jumping, people are already walking around with their brown bags because they've already purchased some type of beer or wine from one of the convenience stores. So no one's in a state over there as well that should even be consuming any beverages because, you know, a lot of mental health issues. It's a lot of homeless people that have access to it. So that was just my take on that area of the saturation. Once again in that area. So that's all I have to say. And I stated that to them as well when they were at the MPA meeting. So that's just what I wanted to say again publicly, just to get a picture of what that block looks like and the area looks like.
Mr. Mayor, I would like to add something. I attended that MPA meeting as well, and the MPA wasn't really in favor, they were not in favor for more additional alcohol of that nature as a store where you can get a bag and leave. When I walked at the end of that MPA meeting, there was a guy walking down the street talking to himself, but he started talking to the other lady, me, and he had an open container in a brown bag. So that's what we're trying to prevent, those type of things. And having more, like Mayor Pro Temp said, saturation, more opportunities where they could pick up beer and wine and brown bag it and walk the streets and trying to help. We have a lot of mental health issues, which you all know. Well, I'm gonna say research has stated that when you have vices like alcohol that enhances, compounds, complicate more issues on top of the things that we are going through within the community. So that's my take as well.
Thank you for that. Commissioner, any additional comments or questions from the commissioner to the business owner? Hearing none. Mr. Rapani, you take a step that way. I appreciate it. We will now be open for public comment. All those who have public comment, please come to the front. Good evening. How you
Good
doing?
evening, Mayor. Good
It's
evening,
good to see-
Commissioners. My name is Casey McCleary. I'm a resident in the MPA for the Midtown MPA. And I come to you as a resident and also as a leader member of that particular MPA. We would like to make our wishes, our desires, our concerns known, specifically because in that particular area, that is a food desert. There are no grocery stores. There are no convenient marts that sell fresh food. And the business owner made a comment and said specifically that he was going to be able to provide that he would be able to accept EBT for those people who are recipients. And in order for them to be able to accept EBT, they have to provide a certain amount of meat and a certain amount of fresh vegetables. And we're hoping that their concentration will be on that versus the beer and wine. And we also wanted to make sure that they were aware that as being part of the MPA, their responsibility is to help impact the community. And when I say impact, I mean uplift. They don't live in the community, but they work in the community. So we want to make sure that they're putting a concerted effort into making sure that they're impactful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and thank you for your service in our MPA and your leadership. We are still open for public comment.
Quick one, just a thought because of this meeting, just to some clarification so anyone can answer, just for FYI kind of stuff. Just a few minutes ago, the Cactus was approved, which is great. Restaurants are great. I personally like Mexican restaurants. Hell, when I walk in there, they usually say you want a Corona, and I joke with them because I look like a Mexican. But anyway, which is 1 minute walk away from, I don't know these gentlemen, I just met them tonight. And I understand the issue and problems we have with the vices. So that's what I'm more concerned about. That's where my question is, more about vices, which is alcohol is a vice, drugs are, and things like that, as you guys know. And secondly, whoever the comments came from, are you guys more leaning towards the vice itself and truly saying less alcohol means less alcohol problems, less alcoholics? Or is it the type of businesses or the type of people who own those types of businesses? In other words, if I was an alcoholic today and I wanted to drink, and just for instance, if this person didn't open up or didn't come to this town and did business, I can walk 1 minute over to the Cactus Mexican restaurant. So it's kind of like drugs. I lived down Norwich for 23 years. My kids were born here. I got married here. I lived right there. And these things, drugs, alcohol, crime, and it's there, it happens, but it's at a level where one person can't really control it, especially a business owner, right? Because when you have a property, it's so much you can control within those property lines per se, So when we have businesses or restaurants or whatever we have, there's just so much you can do to control these vices, And the second part of the question was, did anybody feel free to answer? When you guys mentioned just today, I was just, I'm here, I was listening. When you say you have to be vested in the community, which makes sense, right? I mean, obviously, this Brunswick is growing. I got here in 2003. Wow, it's changed. The first Fridays are badass. Excuse me. They're nice. It's crowded.
It is, I remember the properties were for 150, 200,000 about 10, 15 years ago. Now they're over $1 million because I'm a real estate guy. So overall, it's good. Like the first Fridays are the best. So even then, there's a two-part question. Number one is the vice, and I see what you guys are saying. It's out there. And the second question was regarding the license you guys were asking earlier about provisional license. It's kind of like buying a house. You know, you go get a $500,000 house. I buy it from this gentleman, and then there's always a clause that says if you get approved by the bank. So the license is type of like that in a way that says, so if I'm paying $1 million or he's paying me $1 million, that's one thing. But we have all this provision that also goes for other licenses, not just alcohol. And in the state of Georgia, this is the law. You go to Florida, they're $500,000, $300,000, $400,000. There's no process. But in Georgia, you have to get approved just to drive, like a driver's license. You can't get a license and get 10 DUIs and keep driving. So Georgia is like that, which is fine. However, the reason most businesses do that is because once two parties agree on a price and all the other terms, there's many, many, many terms. There's alcohol license, lottery license, all these things are pending. I don't know how they did their contract, but they're pending. So if everything gets approved, then the whole thing can happen. So what is your definition of vices? Do you think if it's all quote unquote jammed in, like let's say downtown area, it's fine, nobody's gonna drink more, or if it's scattered around the city, some businesses have been there forever. And again, this is just a process, which in the state of Georgia, which you have to go through, which is the alcohol license. So what is your status on that? Just two things. First, the provisional stuff and your vices. I mean, is it like, for example, I was just looking 1 minute walk. So if I wanted to drink, I can achieve that. So do you think it's gonna solve that problem by?
I think the
Just
one thing
asking
is,
your opinion.
one thing, let me ask real quick, what's your name?
Nick Shaw, 2300 block of Norwich, Nick Shaw.
Gotcha, Mr. Schott. I don't make it a habit of us answering questions because that could lead us
It's an
down.
overall view.
We don't make it a habit of answering questions from the DIOS because that could unfold into complete chaos. We try and keep these meetings moving. So this comment period is for a comment. And so I think we got your comment locked in. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you.
How can that be
after the
possible?
meeting.
Just have a meeting with you or something, sir?
Yeah, no, if you, after this, I'd be
Yeah, no
happy to
problem.
chat with you.
Because I think,
Wait 1 second. We don't want to get into
No,
a
but
back and forth. I want to get to the place. So we're gonna give you 30 more seconds
No
and then we'll
problem.
close that comment period.
I don't need 30 seconds. 10
Yep.
is more than enough. I think communication is the key for everyone, for that side of the panel, this side. But so the rules, somebody said earlier, I think that was a great comment. I think she said that. So the rules are clear for all parties. And then they fall wherever they fall. You know, when the decision making comes, then that's fine. So I think if that's clear, it'll make everybody's life easier. I think she said that because I think I'm confused too, but thanks for your time.
I appreciate you, Mr. Chair.
I do want to address quickly because I'm sorry.
We'll leave it open for 5 more seconds. Any additional comments? Hearing none, public comment is closed. Any additional comments or questions from the DIOS?
Just straight to the point comment, because this is not you. This is recorded. This is live. This can be played back. So there was something very important said that I don't want to have a legal bearing on the decisions that are being made here on this DIOS or from this DIOS. It is not targeted at any specific group of people. I noted that in that comment. So I want to specifically state that because I don't want that being some type of hindrance or barrier or something that somebody's going to hang their hats on as if there is a targeting from this DIOS of any specific group of people.
We do not go back and forth. Well, appreciate your comment, Commissioner Harris. Any additional questions or comments from the commission?
Just thank you for that, Commissioner Harrison. I'm glad that you brought up Mayor because I was going there when because it was stated in the Brunswick News that, the commission, like we said, had an issue with a specific group of people. So I'm glad that Commissioner Harris stated that and that you kind of calmed me down because I was gonna get reeled in. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner. Any additional comments or questions from the commission?
I just want to say there isn't anything against any particular group of people, nor any type of business. I think that was your part,
Good deal. Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we will open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we deny the sale of beer and wine at 1211 Gloucester Street. My reason being is for the comments that I stated in my comment
Yes.
period. Thanks.
I think there was comments by both Commissioner Atkinson Williams and Commissioner Roll related to why, but that motion is proper.
Hearing the motion on the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing the first and second, all those in favor, show by the sign.
I have one comment.
Yes.
I just do, as we debate this alcohol license, I would just want to, for the record, that I'll be making my decision based on the feedback that we heard from the neighborhood and that feedback, and that's why I'll be voting the way I will. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And so we have clarity. I think we have a motion in the second. The motion, the reasoning being to wrap it up in a one word, sounds like saturation. So saturation of the area, and Commissioner Savy is on the record. We have a first and a second. All those in favor show by the usual sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, hearing none, the motion passes. We will now move on to add on new licenses and move to With that, we will move on to add on new licenses, Driftwood Wine and Cocktails for 205 Gloucester Street for off-premise alcohol catering.
Yes.
Deputy.
So just to clarify, this will allow Driftwood and the two following businesses to be able to sell or cater off premises such as weddings, any kind of gatherings, parties, or such. So Driftwood is currently licensed for beer, wine, and liquor at 205 Gloucester. She is here. Miss Sunshine Unterwagner is here, and she is looking to be able to cater at different functions and events that have been requested of her. So she would need this license to be able to go outside her premise to be able to, sell or serve. So if you'd like to speak to her.
Wonderful. Ms. Unterwagner, if you could just come to the front. Thank you for being a new business owner in the city of Brunswick. I think we have all done these licenses before and have some concept of what they are. Is there anything particular that you'd like to add before we kind of move forward? Good deal. Is there any questions or comments for Ms. Unterwagner?
I have a question for Attorney Corey or Deputy Marshal. Whenever, and this is not about you, this is this section. When caterers receiving off-premise alcohol catering license as an addition, do they have to be mindful or abide by the rules and regulations to the place they are catering for? Is the distance to a church and or a school that's within a regular on-site premise, sell of alcohol?
No, an authorized catered event as defined by our ordinance would be an event pulled through a special event permit. So it'd be on private property, most likely. So no, it would not be, it would be a one-time event. And they still are bound by the regulations for that catered event, selling more food than alcohol. And there's a list of event requirements in there. And so I don't believe the distance requirements would apply because it'd be a private special event. But they are bound by certain requirements in the event authorized catered function event requirements section.
So if a caterer goes into another business that is considered an event center. Okay, an event, a place that they allow activities, people, they rent. I come in, I rent this facility to have a party and I need the alcohol served at my party. They do not have to look at the laws of or the distance requirements.
They would need to go through and pull the event permit. So there'd have to be they would still need to go through the laws and the ordinances as
So
applied by the
if a
city.
person has an event center, a business, that they say, I rent out my facility. I want to make sure we understand, rent out my facility or if that owner hosts parties themselves and make money for entrance, and they hire a caterer to come serve alcohol on the premise, do they have to abide by the distance requirements between a church, the distance requirements of churches or schools or whatever?
If I'm understanding it correctly, I mean, like, there's not a direct connection between our ordinances, but they would have to pull an event permit every single time.
Okay, this business, because they have a business, I want to make sure we understand, because they have a business.
I'm not sure if there's a differential. It doesn't matter if they're an event venue, they would need to pull an event permit to have an authorized catered function where alcohol could be sold. So they'd still have to go through the city, pull an event permit, list out who's selling food, identify.
Even if they own the building, and
That's
that's the
correct.
business. As event venue, I offer a venue for people to come rent, and you could bring your caterer.
If you're selling alcohol, if you have an intent to sell alcohol through a licensed caterer, yes, you would need to pull an event permit from the city of Brunswick.
Okay, so
There-
and I'm gonna go ahead and say the name, because therefore we need to, I will tell you, there are other issues because another merchant brought this up.
No, you
Okay.
would have to, there is a special component to our ordinance that allows for event venues to receive an alcohol license for that location, but that would be subject to the distance requirements that you're talking about.
Okay.
But if it is a freestanding, even if it's a business, if they are not licensed under the ordinance and they seek out to bring in a catered, even if they're licensed as a caterer, they need to go through the event permitting process to get an authorized catered, and I know what you're talking about, but
Okay,
they would
long-
need to go through. Yep.
You know, okay. That's my concern, because we want to be equitable when you're looking at stores that's in the same distance adjacent,
Correct.
okay? We need to look at that very carefully, please. Thank you.
Good deal. You can come on back. Any questions or comments for Ms. Unterwagner? Hearing none, we will ask you to step to the side right here. We will open it for public comment. We will leave it open for 20 seconds. Seeing none, the public comment period is closed. Any additional questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, we will open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, make a motion that we approve the off-premise alcohol catering license for 205 Gloucester Street, Driftwood Wine and Cocktails.
Hearing a first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second, all those in favor show by sign of aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Unterwagner. We will now move on to Newcastle Wine Merchant for 1325 Newcastle Street, off-premise alcohol catering. Good to see you. Thank you for being a business in Brunswick. Again, I'll say I think we have our minds wrapped around a little bit about what this license is. Do you have any additional things that you want to say around what you all may be doing or providing, if you like?
Yeah, just that our immediate use cases, just for context, is Porch Fest will allow us to serve alcohol in that context. And I don't know if this has been fully solidified at this point, because I know there's some back and forth on it, but to serve wine on First Friday immediately outside of our front door on a table. I understand the invention of the catering license would like that to be the case. And since that was something we had done in the past, we'd want to continue doing that. It's really nice to be able to expedite our service on First Fridays. And then the potentiality of like catering someone's wedding at a location that doesn't already have their own alcohol license.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Any additional questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll just ask you to step to the side right here. We'll leave it open for public comment, 20 seconds. Seeing none, the public comment period is closed. Any questions or comments from the commission? Hearing none, we'll open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the off-premise sale of alcohol catering for the Newcastle Wine Merchant at 1325 Newcastle Street.
Hearing the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing the first and the second, all those in favor show by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you much. With that, we will move on to Hootenannies at the Yard for 1708 Ellis Street, off-premise alcohol catering. Ms. Nat, it's always good to see you.
You all as well.
We, as I said, we know what it's about. We know we've done this license before. You also have been a business in the city for a little bit now and being exceptional. I see people out on the lawn and people working and barbecuing. So thank you for all that you've done. Anything you want to add before?
No, only to say quickly, catering is a growing part of our business, and frankly, it's keeping the doors open. And the ability to continue to offer full-service catering that can include from time to time liquor and wine and beer is something that we think will be of value to our business. Additionally, maybe you all caught in social media in the last couple of days, but we are now the proud owners of a sausage cart. And so we're adding another sort of line of business to our business in the hopes that this will eventually lead to us being able to open full meat production facilities here in Brunswick. So getting our sausage demand out there, as funny as that sounds, is something we're really looking forward to. So we too would like the ability at First Friday, for example, to take the sausage truck, potentially sell beer along with our hot dogs. And we too have a somewhat immediate need, for example, we're going to be, if everything goes as planned with our permitting in the next couple of days, the sausage cart will be at the Norwich Street Festival. And we have been asked to also sell beer at that event. So alcohol sales has not been a big part of our business. We've only, opened our full bar in the last several months, but it is just something that people have asked for, and we want to be able to provide, as I said, to sustain our business.
Thank you for that. Any questions or comments from the commission?
I just have questions about the sausage. What kind of sausages are y'all cooking?
Well, I'm happy to talk about that. So this week, for example, we will have our jalapeno cheddar beef links. And then the team has been working on a hot dog, which I jokingly called a hoot dog the other day. So stay tuned for that. But our sausages have been changing every week. Our team actually went to meat school in Iowa in January to learn the techniques associated with sausage making. And we've also been studying in on traditional techniques as well. We think that there's a demand for the product here. It's artisanal, it's made in our kitchen, and, we're very proud of it.
Okay. All right. Well, beef or just
beef and pork. And
Okay.
we're open 11, since I get the opportunity, we're open 11 to 8. Thursdays through Saturdays and 11 to 3 on Sundays.
Sound like Polish style a little bit as well. Well,
So he has done various types of sausage, some leaning towards kielbasa. He experiments every week. He's done sort of more traditional bolognas. But yeah, it's run the gamut. So
Okay.
blueberry maple Gouda seems to be the crowd pleaser, just so everybody knows.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I just got a lot of background on meat. Learn that.
Opportunity to do some marketing. I am not
You
gonna
ready?
pass it
Got
up.
it.
I hate businesswoman.
Just saying, right. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, thank you. Thank you so much. We'll open it for public comment, 20 seconds.
Quick comment. Oh, Mr. Corey, it's my understanding if you have off premises.
Wait a minute, we don't do questions.
Okay.
So
So my.
I don't mind you making a comment.
That's
So
fine.
you,
My
let's,
question is, my comment is, if you have off-premise alcohol catering, it's my understanding that you need a permit every time. So if I'm a caterer, every time I throw a party or event at different people's places, houses, locations, I have to pull a permit every time, right?
Mhm.
Is that correct?
Yes,
Like, so if I cater at your house, different people, so I have to pull a permit each time?
yes, sir.
It can't be like a real business every weekend at some event center like you
I,
said.
I totally get it, but we're not gonna go
I'm
down.
asking a question.
I know, but
Comment.
it's comment. So your comments keep turning into questions and I respect that. I think I've
I
locked
would
in your comment.
respectfully like a proper answer, what the.
What I'm trying to say to you, Mr. Shook, Mr. Shook, Mr. Shook, what I'm trying to say to you, man, is like, I am happy to have these conversations with you after this meeting. But this is comment period. And so you're not giving a comment. And so what I'm gonna do is you got about 10 seconds to close out your
No,
comment.
I know my time limit.
All right, so 10 seconds
I
start
was
now.
just trying to get clarity like she was, but that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just trying to get clarity.
I appreciate it. All right. Any other public comment? In regards to hootenannies? Hearing none, the public comment period is closed. We'll now open it for any comment or questions from the commission. Hearing no additional, we'll open it for a motion.
I move that we approve hootenannies at the yard as for off-premise alcohol catering.
Hearing the first, do I hear?
Second.
Hearing the first and a second, all those in favor show by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you so much. With that, we will move on to updates. Number 3, Brunswick Police Department, Chief Smith.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Evening, yes, all the same to me. So for our updates for the Brunswick Police Department, this year, so far for year to date, at the time that this report was completed, our calls for service, year to date was 21,982, which is down 16% over the last year. For felony arrests, year to date, we've made 211. Excuse me, yes, adult arrests 412 and juvenile arrests 17 for the year. There have been 1,174 traffic citations. However, those do not include the warnings. Those are just actual citations. Part 1 crimes, 613. Last year, there was 770 this time. And so that is down 20% over last year. For August, the Part 1 crimes were 83. Last year was 98. So we're down 7% over that. The big thing for me is recruiting and retention. This year, year to date, we've had 39 applications for police officer. 13 of those were certified applicants and 26 of those were non-certified. We currently have 6 civilian staff, 51 officers. Of those 51, 44 are sworn, 7 are in the academy, and we just had 2 start on the 15th. We were expected to have 3 officers on military leave this month. However, we are down to 2 instead of 3. Department is at 72% of capacity, so we're slowly getting to where we need to be. Our vacancies right now, we have a vacancy for a CID sergeant. We have an assistant chief vacancy as well as a police captain vacancy that we hope to filled pretty soon. We have actually put those on job boards with the International Chiefs of Police. We've attempted GACP, but there were some areas we've added it to Indeed and some spots that we normally probably wouldn't post those jobs at. And so I'm at the chief conference this week, and so I've been doing some networking and kind of putting feelers out that we're hiring over here in the city. And so we still have positions available in patrol. We've received our first fleet vehicle from the Enterprise Fleet Management for our narcotics unit. And so they are in that vehicle and out and about. And pretty soon we will hope to get our first delivery of patrol cars. We're still looking at the logo, which we finally received on yesterday. We were not that impressed, and so we're going to go back to the drawing board with that logo. We've created a uniform committee to look at changing the uniforms of the officers of the department and giving the officers that buy-in to come up with a uniform, and we sit down and discuss and kind of vote what that looks like. If we don't like it, we'll just stay with what we're at, but we kind of want to give them the option to brand with the new logo on the vehicle, so they have a new outlook. We've moved our gym from the current location, is now 1919 Glen Avenue at the old precinct, and so now there will be more patrol and police presence over there at that precinct. And so what was formerly the gym, we're changing that into an actual conference room. So we could have more meetings. It's bigger, and so we're going to paint and kind of do some rearranging in there. Our criminal investigations does not have a conference room or a room. You're looking back there. I'm the police, so I'm trying to see what you looking at.
I'm doing something.
Okay. And so they don't have a conference room, and so that makes it more available and more appeasing to the public. It's a separate entrance, and so they can go, and we just want to utilize our space because we are out of space at the police department, and so we're trying to find ways to better utilize our space, but also get a more police presence in the community. On tomorrow, we will be getting new carpet in what we call the green room. I'm sure you've been in there before and saw that carpet, and so we are replacing that carpet on tomorrow, and we're able to utilize some leftover funds that was from our evidence room process, and so we were able to get the evidence room renovated, and so with those funds, we had those other allocations in there, and so that project begins on tomorrow. Other than that, we're slowly progressing and having a lot of changes. We had our state certification assessment in July, and we did pretty well, and we're waiting on the official word that we have passed that, and so we're just waiting, but the feedback was very good from the assessors on that. We're looking at going toward CALIA certification. We're in the process of researching that. Myself and the certification manager will be attending a training for that before the end of the year to find out what the department has to do for that. And so there will be some policy changes along with that to make us equivalent to what CALIA requires of us. That's all I have for department updates.
Thank you, Chief. Comments or questions from the commission?
I have one quick question, Chief. When you refer to Part 1 crimes, are those misdemeanor crimes? Is that same
Yes.
thing? Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, great. And you're happy with that first vehicle that was delivered?
I am.
Yeah, good stuff. Okay, great. Thank you.
That first vehicle they delivered, are they gonna redesign, or are you gonna have to keep it as is?
It's an unmarked vehicle.
Oh, it's unmarked,
Yes.
but you didn't like the logo that you all,
Yes, for the patrol cars.
okay.
Yes.
Are you considering redesigning the patch too, or just the uniform itself?
They are considering redesigning the patch as well. It's all going to be contingent on budget,
Yeah.
but because they do get a certain allotment per year, and so they haven't really purchased uniforms this year, and so we can actually, kind of space that out, but we're considering redesigning the patch as well.
I'm all for that. I don't like that it's hyphenated.
Chief Smith, can you tell us a little bit about the food drive that's going on? Because
The food drive with American Second Harvest. And so there is a food drive that American Second Harvest has asked us to partner with them. And it's kind of a competition between our local law enforcement agencies. And so we have placed a flyer on our Facebook page as well as in the records outside of the police department so that we could raise funds for American Second Harvest. We also have food boxes at the department. And so we're just asking the public to scan our QR code so we can beat those other agencies and raise money and that is for local food drives and residents.
And I dropped my canned goods off today. I was the first one to put it in the box, so I'm challenging the four of
Right.
you to join me. Okay?
Wait a minute, she said money too?
Money.
We'll take
worth
money
over
too. There
here.
is a QR code. You can go to our Facebook page and scan that QR code and provide those funds. That does not come to the agency, but America's Second Harvest.
That's amazing. Thank you, Chief. Any additional questions or comments for the chief? Chief, I want to say thank you. Those numbers being down in those spaces is amazing. 70% capacity with our numbers sounds absolutely amazing. And the fact that you're thinking about growing and retention being at the top of your mind is we're thankful that you're at the helm thinking about those things. Really quickly, can you just tell me the difference between the certification you all will be going for and
A
what you're
state
changing from?
certification is for state. It is the state certification that says Brunswick Police Department has policies that are in best practices or recommended policies to make our agency efficient and that we're doing what we're supposed to do according to the standards of the state of Georgia. CALIA is a nationally recognized certification.
Gotcha.
That is a little bit more stringent than state standards.
I appreciate that, Chief. Thank you so much. Hearing no additional questions or comments, we'll now close this period. Thank you so much, Chief. Oh, you're up next too. Items to consider for approval. Oh, no. No, she's not up next. Well, right after. Okay. Approval of September 3rd, 2025 regular scheduled meeting minutes. Any addendums or subtractions? Hearing none, we'll open it for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the September the 3rd, 2025 regular scheduled meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
Hearing a first and a second. All those in favor show by sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. We will now move on to number 5, consider approval of funding in the amount of $18,000 from the opioid settlement funds to support enrollment of 40 officers in operational readiness.
Okay.
Chief Smith.
I am requesting these funds so officers can participate in a 4-hour module course that will give them Georgia Post hours for opioid readiness. February 19th, 2024, officers responded to a call of an unresponsive 4-year-old, which was later determined to be deceased and in full rigor. We were later find out from the medical examiner that 4-year-old was exposed to fentanyl. That day, officers never knew that they too could have been exposed to fentanyl in that residence. And so what this course does is provides officers with strategies for response, as well as give them materials to educate the public on opioid use, also provides them with strategies for their health and wellness. And so we are requesting these funds for the frontline officers to be able to take these courses.
Incredible use of funds. We will now open it for any questions or comments from the commission.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question, but it's not for Chief. I know last year we purchased some Narcan, if I pronounce it incorrectly, I apologize. I would like, and we only received how much total of the settlement? $30,000, am I correct?
No. We have approximately $70,000, $76,000 has been received.
Oh, okay. So there's enough, because I think we only spent like 15 of 30.
It was 18.
18?
Yes.
So this is 18, okay.
And it's a structured settlement. It will continue to come in year after year after year until the funds are expended. I think it's almost an 18-year settlement fund. So I think we've received years 1 through 7, or we've been informed of what we will receive in 5, 6, and 7. It's very complex, but we are regularly receiving our settlement proceeds. We also have opted in under the old agreement. As the new agreements keep opening up, we are opting in every time there is a new settlement. So Sackler family has just agreed finally to release and allow us to enter into those settlement agreements. So we continuously enter in, and I hope that there will be more and more coming in. But they are earmarked funds, and this is a great use of those funds right within the lines of what they're earmarked for.
How much, or what's the average number amount that we receive per year?
Oh, boy. Could I get you that information and provide it to you via email?
Sure, but city manager, you said there's enough in there now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's all, Chief. I know.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, we'll open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the funding in the amount of $18,000 from the opioid settlement funds to support enrollment of 40 officers in operational readiness.
Hearing the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing the first and the second, all those in favor show by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. We'll now move on to number 5A, which is consider approval of quote to replace Brunswick Police Department Detective Division Building HVAC system. Chief Smith?
The current system has been out for a while, and the city has spent funds for the last year trying to recharge the system. But however, the system has to be rebuilt. The parts are old and they are outdated and they have aged. And so the current system has been there since about 2012 when the building was constructed. And so the system was specifically designed for the building. And so there is an approximately 5 to 6 week build time, and we've received 3 quotes for the project. And Air Adjusters had the best quote for $82,800. So currently there's a portable unit in there that does not provide much comfort or reprieve for the detectives. And so most days they are in there with the doors open, which poses as a safety hazard. And so we're asking that this emergency request be approved.
Any questions or comments?
Can you share the other two amounts for the other two?
Yes, certified electric was $85,882, and Green's HVAC doctor, $93,925.
And it is my understanding from having reviewed the documentation that that could possibly potentially come down to 75.
Yes, if they are able to reuse the copper tubing.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
I didn't see in the quotes was, does this include, any maintenance agreement on the new system?
Well, we have the
That-
project manager
Yeah. I didn't-
here, Mr. Nelson. Could you answer that question?
Yeah, maintenance and warranty.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. As part of the contract, there is a 10-year warranty period on the equipment. And then there's a 3-year labor warranty
Okay.
that comes with the purchase of a unit. A maintenance agreement would be separate at the time toward the end of the expiration period, is that we would want to work that out.
Okay. All right, perfect. Thank you.
And to the chief's point, there is a possibility of a reduction to 75,000. We know that one of the copper lines is where one of the present leaks are. So as they break the system down, if it's not usable, it comes out. If it's able to stay, then we'll start working the numbers back down off of that.
How long would it take for them to install it or to get it ready, up and going? Oh, you said 5.
Mhm.
Oh, I do.
It's built on the West Coast, so they've got to put it together, then it ships here, and then it's a 3 to 5 day install.
Chief, y'all gonna survive?
They've survived this long, but they've survived this long, and I'm so grateful that they've had patience because it's been some hot days over there.
Yeah. So we don't want to force the copper issue. So Word of God says you can't put new wine in old wine skin.
So, right.
Here, any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we'll open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we approve the new HVAC system for our Brunswick Police Detective Division.
Second.
Hearing the first and the second, all those in favor show by the sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. Thank you, Chief.
Chief.
With that, we'll move on to, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Just ask, did we replace or have we replaced City Hall's HVAC system?
We have worked on, it's a very complex system, and yes, we have replaced part of it. And was going to comment that we are looking at all our systems so that we won't have these emergency type, requests. We want to evaluate them, see the age of them, and get a listing so that we can systematically replace them. So we may be coming back in a few months, looking at those, what needs to be replaced before it goes out.
Okay, all right, thank you.
With that, we'll move on to number 7. Consider approval of agreement between the city and the Brunswick Housing Authority for Youth Education and Development Services.
I do see, good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. What you have before you is, it's an MOU between the City of Brunswick and the Brunswick Housing Authority. I do see Director Booker is present with us tonight, and she might be able to answer if there's questions related to the specific details. It is a MOU very similar to the prior year, where we have provided the ability for the Housing Authority to pay the city's Parks and Rec Department for children to be able to access the there's 3, the summer camp, Roosevelt Lawrence summer camp, and the after-school program. I think those are detailed out in section 2 under cost. They did, Housing Authority, my understanding is that there was a tweak in the federal funding that they received this year for these types of services that reduced it slightly. So you'll see that they have less ability to pay the city this year, but they are still putting the children through these programs. I think it's a benefit to both the city and the Housing Authority to enter into an MOU like this. And again, if there are questions, I know Director Booker might be able to answer them more detailed as to what programs are being provided and how. I'll leave it up to the commission for any questions.
Well, let's, Director Booker. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Attorney Corey, just look over, I'm looking at the first paragraph in section 2, but at the date, I'm kind of like, but please check for any other type
Oh,
of,
those should be to 26 and 26, or reverse, 25, 26.
or, yeah.
Yep.
Whatever it is.
25 to 26, 2025 to 2026.
So it started June the 1st, 2025.
That was the intent. We have been going through several iterations of the revisions to this MOU, because if you see at the bottom, August 6th, 2025 to May 22nd, 2026 is the intent. So it would be, there was an MOU for the prior year that would be covering and was active up until this one would take into effect. But we've had to tweak those numbers. So it would be covering 2026 for the summer camps. And then the third paragraph, you're correct. 2026 for the 2 first paragraphs, 2025 to 2026 for the third paragraph that deals with the after-school programs.
Okay. All right.
I'll correct that.
All right.
Director Booker, can you please come? Just tell us a little bit about the services and the agreement and how the agreement has worked over the past year for us, please. It's good to have you with us.
Good afternoon. Yes, this is our 2nd year with the Brunswick Housing Authority, and they fund all of our sports, football, basketball, and track. And they fund summer camp and after-school program. And the only thing, as Attorney Corey said, the only thing is because there was a decrease in the funds, and then all we had to do was just take our numbers down. So in after school, I think we were at 25, and we just had to move it down to 23. So we just kind of did our numbers so that after school would definitely be funded, because that's the longest period, 9 months. And then in the agreement, it will end June the 30th. So then they'll cover 4 weeks of summer camp. And then hopefully by the next time we do the RFP, we'll be ready for July 1.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Any additional questions or comments for Director Booker?
I just love y'all video of the highlighting the Parks and Rec. That was very nice.
Yes, Gracie did an awesome job.
Well, and so did you in your speaking. Thank you. I like that.
Hearing no other questions or comments, thank you, Director Booker. We will open it for a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the agreement between the city and the Brunswick Housing Authority for Youth Education and Development Services.
Hearing the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second. All those in favor show by sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, the motion passes. We will now adjourn for executive session for the purposes of.
I have real estate and a litigation update.
Or what? Thank you.
Good deal. I'm sorry, I missed the purposes, for the purposes of Brian.
Litigation and real estate.
Litigation, real estate. Okay, for litigation and real estate, do I hear a first?
Motion to adjourn to executive session.
Hearing a first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing a first and a second, all those in favor show by sign of aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. Hearing none, we are adjourned for executive session. We are back from executive session, and we do have a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we,
You done said we back from executive session? Oh, you did? Okay, I move to offer the lease terms to DDA as discussed in executive session.
second.
Hearing the first and the second, all those in favor show by sign of aye.
Aye.
All of those opposed, hearing none, the motion passes. We'll now open it for a motion to adjourn. Hearing the first, do I hear a second?
Second.
Hearing the first and the second, all those in favor show by sign of aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.